have appeared. The Jaguars, along with Steelers, Cardinals, Lions, and Broncos, are the 5 teams eligible for the 2020 season. Indiana and Tennessee faced off in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl here in Jacksonville last night. Volunteers able to make a comeback in the fourth quarter by scoring 2 late touchdowns to take the victory 23-22 over Hoosiers. It's 66 degrees at 7:01. Time and temp are brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together as Dan Hicken enters the studio.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
You know it! Yeah! Motion, please. Hey! Ho! That was lovely. Hey ho! Uh-huh. Hello, Friday. Hello, Googans. Hello, Googans. Hello, friends. Hello, Jim.
Hello, Jim.
Great to be
I would
here.
like to start the morning by wishing you a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. I am.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you, Daniel Snyder. I mean,
I don't know.
this is a man running an NFL team, Hick.
Oh, boy. Not good.
That's
It's a
like
little
beyond a
slip
misspeak, isn't it?
This is
bad
how you
one.
get up to 6 on that list,
It's
Jeff.
just like Happy
Yeah.
4th of July almost. What?
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl.
Yeah, it was a good week for him.
You got a great one. Finally.
Yeah.
Yes, finally, 6th best attendance. Great game.
I imagine the TV ratings will be high.
TV ratings will be good.
Yeah, good for them.
It was on its own against nobody else. I just thought it was a perfect 75th anniversary. And shout out to Tennessee fan who came down and drove.
Yeah,
Indiana showed up well, but Tennessee ruled the roost.
That was top of my mind this morning as well. It struck me what a good week it was for the Gator Bowl, and
they
also
needed one. They deserved one. They tried, and now they're done with the SEC Big Ten. They're going back to SEC ACC from here on out, and that's better fit anyway.
They get a better ACC team too.
Yeah,
they move up a spot in the selection because we ask, why is the Camping World Bowl have Notre Dame?
Yeah, and I always thought, honestly, the SEC's been a little unfair to the Gator Bowl and how they position. And this year, Philip Fulmer is the one who sat there and said, all right, no, we're not going back to
Music City or
City.
Bell.
We're going to Florida.
Yeah.
So
Good.
And he had a great week. He had a great weather. Everything went
Agreed
well for them, and they deserve it. I know they've worked hard down there, and they've gotten it. The bowl. The bowl world is a tough world. It's not easy, and so hopefully from here on out they can continue to get good matchups, and you get a good game. It makes it better too. But Tennessee, Indiana worked out nicely, I thought, and SEC got another dub. So 8-2.
Is it
8-2, 7-2?
I think it's 7-2.
7-2. 7-2 going into the championship game. Which does that count?
Georgia got another top recruit last night.
That guy's a monster.
Yeah,
holy crap!
Have been many. The recruiting services don't give out 5-star rankings to tight ends very often.
I felt like
he got one.
I felt like he was almost like a Neanderthal caveman and went, "Me go Georgia,
Well,
go dogs."
He
kept saying,
he has a baby already. Are we sure he's not 30? He brought his baby to the announcement, a little Georgia onesie.
This baby,
fire bad.
go dogs. I mean, honestly, he kept going. It was like this, Pros. He committed, and the guy would ask him a question, and he'd go, "Go dogs." And then I saw his highlight film, and it was, like he may end up being a tackle. That's how big of a tight end he is. But he's very athletic.
Go Tigers.
Kirby Smart's been a stallion on that recruiting trail.
Yeah.
Hadn't paid off to what you shoot for in the SEC. You shoot for the kind of payoff that LSU's getting this year, not the kind of payoff where you give away the title game. So you got to. Georgia has got to capitalize on this. On this, maybe outside of Herschel, its most dominant run ever.
Oh, gosh.
3 years.
Yeah, what a wonderful.
Rick had some, pieced together some seasons, but not like this.
No.
I also just jumped out at me. One of the biggest injustices in this. I'm starting to get frustrated with the Hall of Fame process, Dan.
Injustices.
Biggest injustices.
Is?
Leroy Butler being a finalist for the first time.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
One of the great mysteries in life to me with Leroy has always been, is it Leroy or Leroy?
It was both. And it may still be both. And to be honest with you, I think he would probably say Leroy.
It's Leroy Butler.
I think he would
or
say
is
Leroy.
it Leroy? He's been called both so many times.
Yeah. He would tell you Leroy if you shook his hand.
Yeah, it's right up there with Malavia.
Oh, yeah.
Or just Mal.
Mal never goes. Maybe we'll just start calling him Lee or Love. But I don't understand, Dan, why it took this long. He was the first DB ever to have 20 touchdowns, 20 interceptions and 20 sacks.
Right.
First one ever.
Okay.
The guy invented the Lambeau Leap. I'm one of the few that thinks fame should be part of the Hall of Fame criteria. I really do. I think if you have something like that in your arsenal, it should make a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
He's the last all-decade member to be a finalist.
And guess what the problem is? And this rarely happens. There's 4 safeties in the final 15.
He's better than those guys, Hick. He's better than John Lynch.
Palomalu's going to get in.
Yeah, he'll get right in. You know why? Because he's got famous hair. But I guess the Lambeau Leap doesn't count.
That's fame.
That's what I mean.
That's your criteria.
Which is fine for Palomalu, but I guess for Leroy it doesn't matter.
And I read that we got to get this beef track down Adam Rank and get him on the show. We're gonna have to throat punch him and convince him that Baselli is a Hall of Famer.
Rank the tank.
Yeah, get Adam Rank of NFL.
Who is he?
I think he's NFL.com guy.
Is he one of the voters?
I don't know. I kind of got the feeling he might be. And he had a list of, he does, how you do with the voters.
Yeah, who's going in. And
definitely in, should be in, close but no cigar, and he had Tony way down, which I didn't like.
Well, that's rare because Tony has. Although you know what, Tony rode that wave.
Yeah,
right. He was at his peak 2 years ago, and then last year some carryover. So you do have to be careful that you
get squished back.
You
down.
just don't get judged to be not quite there.
Yeah,
right. And I'm curious. I wonder how, John Lynch is an 8-time finalist. Well, how many times do we have to go over a guy before we determine he's a Hall of Famer or not? Does it, you know what I mean?
You know how I feel about John Lynch, so I trust that he'll somehow. We probably need to get him in because he'll beat Tony again.
He has really beaten Tony in every way.
He's beaten Tony to death. Yeah, in every which way.
Took his job. First, he took his job at Fox.
Tony got fired from Fox and was replaced by John Lynch.
And then John Lynch, while Tony, is dying to be the assistant to the assistant regional manager. Here's John Lynch
named President GM.
Not just the President GM, but the President GM of the 1 seed.
Yeah.
So not only has he been a GM, but he's been a successful one.
Which leads me to wonder, perhaps I've been riding the wrong horse. Maybe I should have saddled up to John Lynch.
Well, good luck with that.
Kept throwing staplers at Tony through the years. But I could never do that to my friend Big Bo. I will ride with him till the end.
Oh, ride or die, they say.
Yes, and is this the 4th year or 5th year in a row he's been?
4th.
4th? Mm-hmm. So, and it's such a crappy process. And then there's a bit of good news, I think, for Fred, and that Edge is getting some momentum. And I think if Edge gets in...
Edge has to go in for Fred to jump up.
Then I think Fred is like the next man up on running backs until this
wave of Peterson and Gore will right in.
Right.
So
but hopefully Peterson and Gore keep playing for another 6-7
but if not, you got a 5-year window. So if you get Edge in now, is there another one that's on the cusp here?
I haven't seen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think in my mind. Have there been any?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tater, what are you up to this weekend?
I don't know, actually. This is the first weekend I haven't had plans.
No kidding. Since the first day she joined us. It's gone.
Pretty much.
I mean, if we went back and we travel logged what she's done in 1 year.
Oh, my gosh.
That's the one thing I appreciate about the millennials.
She's living large.
They live, man. They travel. They have fun. And they do it cheap.
Oh, yeah.
The same amount of money we used to spend, Dan, to pile guys into a car and drive to the Keys.
Correct.
They spend to go to Arizona or wherever. It's kind of annoying. It's a freedom that I wish I enjoyed.
Yeah, much like the Stanley Cup, I finally brought in I've got to enjoy the golf championship that Beef and I procured.
Oh, good for you.
Last year.
You brought in a bronze trophy there.
And so I've brought in the cup for Beef to enjoy, take home to his children and show off a little bit to his wife.
Brag a little bit.
Look how great I am.
What have you done, honey?
Yeah. So that'll be fun for him.
Yeah.
So Beef, you can take that.
That's appropriate.
And spend some time with it and take some photos of you and it. And
drop that bomb on her in your face.
What have you won? Ask her.
So a lot to do today. It's a Football Friday. There's a lot of great playoff tidbits going into the into the weekend, so we'll get into
The
that.
closer
as well.
it did not strike me all week, and now that we're on the eve of the game, there's a lot of fascinating things about this Patriots-Titans game.
There's no doubt about that, and a lot of it has to do with Brady. I'm wondering the opposite of what everybody's saying about Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones. That it was pain. It was a process, and they wanted to make sure and treat it with dignity and respect. I think behind closed doors, Jerry wanted Jason to suffer for all the losses that he went through. Okay, okay, Jason. Let's go over the Chicago game real quick. I see here you went for it on 4th and 3. What the hell were you thinking there?
Well, let me ask you this too. Jerry has always said, well, if Jason Garrett's fired, there'll be 6 teams want to hire him right away. I know that. I've been told that. So maybe he's delaying it so all the other jobs fill.
Maybe that's it.
So because he's so sure that Jason Garrett's going to get 6 offers the moment he's fired. It's so funny. Like, I think Jerry is afraid that the Giants will hire Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can be afraid anyone's hiring who you're firing.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me tell you who Giant fans don't want.
Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett,
oh,
right?
Gosh,
You've
no.
seen him.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah,
no.
Muddle along in mediocrity down there in Dallas. The Giants, I guess, really wanted Ron Rivera, Giant fan, a lot more than was reported.
Yeah.
So, and then you watch the Redskins get him, and it's a happy Thanksgiving for Skins Nation.
Happy Thanksgiving, baby. All right, a lot to do right here on a Friday edition of The Drill.
Now, Downtime with Dan on 1010XL. Brought to you by Ameris Bank. Our look is changing, but our commitment to you remains fierce. Learn more at amerisbank.com/new look.
Hearing Dan Mullen's name as a candidate for the Dallas Cowboys job is the best of both worlds, but make no mistake, if somehow, some way, the Dallas Cowboys decided to settle on Dan Mullen, talk about knocking the legs out from the Gator Nation. I mean, think about this right now. If the Florida Gators hired any coach at all, not named Mullen, next year, would your mind be able to wrap itself around a 11-win season? No. Dan Mullen gets all the credit in the world for what the Florida football program has done the last 2 years. So while we sit there and say we want more, we want more, we want more, the fact that this team over the last 2 years has been able to win New Year's Six Bowls, pretty impressive. And one guy gets all the credit in the world, and that's Dan Mullen.
At Ameris Bank, we didn't become bankers so we could tell you no. We chose this profession because we knew we could make a difference. That's one thing all Ameris bankers have in common.